What was the worst job interview you've had? Applied for a desktop support position. $15 per hour advertised. A bit on the low side, but I was out of work and needed to pay bills. Sat down for the interview with two guys. Interviewer A introduced himself as the manager, network, project manager and introduced interviewer B as the server guy. Indicated he was looking for someone to bridge that gap between the two of them when things got buys. He wanted someone who could take the overflow of work and handle project management tasks, network configs, server admin work, and handle the day-to-day desktop requests of the office. Cue my eyes getting as big as saucers. I apologized and indicated I thought I was in the wrong interview. I had applied for a desktop support position for $15 an hour. His response, "Oh no, you're in the right spot. It's desktop support, and a few other tasks as we need to assign them to you." There was a typo in the job advert though. It's only $13 an hour. I just stood up, grabbed my coat from the back of the chair, apologized for wasting their time, and left. I had one for a job that was a little below my pay grade and far outside of where I wanted to work, but times were tough and I was taking all interviews. I go in and the guy asks me, on a scale of 1 to 10, "How excited would you be to work here?" I said 9, because I mean what else was I supposed to say, and he says, "Oh really? Why so high?" I had to come up with some answer that wasn't just "I need to pay rent," so I think I said I was just really excited to work for a small company like this. The guy replied, "Huh," and didn't say anything. Later they called me and said they would only hire me if I started the next day. As far as I know it was an above-board, salaried secretary-type position. I explained that would need a few days, was moving to an adjacent area, and he said, "Then never mind, don't bother," even though I explained I would probably need 2 days instead of 1. Extremely weird. The interview was at a well-known bank in the city for a software developer job. Walked into the interview room, shook hands with the two guys when one of them said, "Nice to meet you, Jessica. My name is not Jessica," so I'm immediately confused. Apparently there was a mistake and they wanted to actually interview a Jessica and not me. We went along with the interview anyway, but they were clearly frustrated. It was one of my first real job interviews after school, so I was trying to stay positive anyway, but lost it shortly after we started. I gave them a synopsis of my background and how I got into programming by creating video games when I was a kid. Their response? "We are a bank, we don't make video games here." I didn't even know how to respond. Like, did they think I was actually that stupid? Anyway, I wasn't expecting to ever hear back, but around 3 months later, got an email for the job offer. Obviously didn't take it, but I'll always be genuinely curious if that was meant for the real Jessica. I had a Skype interview with a private practice and the lady interviewing me literally made it sound like a stern military parent. "You can never be late, mind you, the job was an hour away. Even if you have a cold you can never call in sick, IDK if this was meant for pre or post-COVID. We're a small company so you won't have much of a work-life balance, PS our pay for all this dedication is only $3 more than the measly pay you're getting now." Just a whole interview of red flags. And the last one was when the lady messaged me immediately after saying I got the job and had to leave my job at maximum 5 days notice, regardless of me kind of bombing the interview and claiming there were other interviewees in line. I could see why they were having trouble hiring people tbh. It was gonna be my first real job using my college degree. I had planned for it, bought new clothes, developed answers to questions I thought they'd ask. The day of, I was sick. I called and asked if we could reschedule. They said the slots are full and that if I wanted the job, to come down and interview. Well, I went down, because needing a job. I was sweating through my shirt because of my fever. I nearly threw up just waiting to be called. Finally, I get called in. Get weird looks from other interviewees. I sit across the table from my interviewer, a very pretty lady. She smiles but it's forced. I see her look me over with disgust. Proceed with the interview. I'm still a gross mess, and halfway through, I feel the bile rise, the saliva filling my mouth. Think to myself, if I puke, I won't get the job. Force it down. Swallow what came up. But I burped. It couldn't be stopped. It smelled like vomit. She looked even more disgusted. Asks why I didn't reschedule the interview. Told her I was sorry. That I tried to reschedule. She thanked me for coming in and asked me to leave. Still got the job.